Hi, welcome to Sadler Up Nails. In this video, I'm going to show you how I make my most popular Grinch Christmas nail set. So first we're going to start off with Madame Glam's Roarrr, and it is this little tiny bottle that I got in their advent calendar last year. This was in the 2020 advent calendar. Not this year's advent calendar, although there are a lot of goodies in this year's advent calendar. So in this video, I'm just going to show you me painting the thumbnails, and then for the rest of the design, I am going to be moving on to the rest of the nails, but when it comes to the painting portion, I'm just going to show you the thumbs because they are all the same. So that was the first coat on the first thumb, and then the other thumb I am using Ugly Duckling's white polish, which is number 044, I think that was. I don't know. Go back to the video if that was the wrong number. That is my absolute favorite white gel polish. It just applies like a dream. It is pretty thick. However, it's not a one coat, unfortunately. I do like to use 3 coats for the white. It just eliminates all the streaks once you put down that 3rd coat. But now we're working on the 2nd coat of the green. Now this green is amazing, and it goes so perfect with the Grinch. It does have this micro holographic glitter in it, and Madame Glam has actually a lot of polishes like that with the different sheer color, so definitely check out their website, and you can use my code BeckyTK40 and get 40% off all of their gel polishes, which is pretty amazing. I think they usually do 30% off with influencers, but for their TikTok debut, they gave me a 40% off code. So definitely use that if you're going to try out their gels. And so now we are moving on to the 3rd coat. I find with this green, you definitely want to put down 3 coats, unless you want it to be sheer. I mean, it's obviously your preference with press-on nails. I do prefer them to be a little bit more opaque, just so that you do not see the glue or the nail tab through the nail, obviously. And now we're going to do the 3rd coat of the white polish, and I am curing these in between each layer. I'm doing a 30-second cure, which is what these polishes require. Always go by what your polishes require in regards to the cure times, and if you are using an LED or a UV lamp, because it does differ based on the light you have. So now we're going to apply our Ugly Duckling No Wipe Glossy Top Coat to the green nail. This is before we do that snow design over top. So we're putting down our top coat on this, and then we're going to do the textured snow design afterwards. But first I'm going to show you the decals on the white nails, and to apply the decals, I first put down a layer of base coat. So on the white nail, I am doing that now, and my favorite base coat for applying decals is Bioseaweed's Stronger Base Coat. I've mentioned this before. It just has the perfect stickiness for the decals. Now I do cure this top coat and the base coat for a full minute. I find when you cure the base coat for a full minute, it just makes it a little bit more stickier, and the decals don't slide around as easy. If you prefer them to slide around more, then cure the base coat a little bit less. So now we're going to be using my water decals, which you can get off of my website, sadlerupnails.com. These are my Grinch decals, and they can be found in my Christmas Characters catalog. And then the other ones are in my foil decals catalog. So first I had to cut out the images, and now I'm just dipping them all in water. I do this all at once. It just saves time. Nothing happens to the images the longer they soak. The color doesn't bleed out or anything. And they do have to sit a little bit for the decal to come off the backing. So I just like to dip them all at once and get them all ready for my nail set. So that's what I'm doing here. And I do like to use tweezers. These are small images, so tweezers do make things a lot easier. So once you're done dipping them all in, you're going to pick up your image, slide it off the backing, and you can see here I'm using transparent decals. I find with smaller images, I prefer the transparent decal paper, and then when using full nail wraps, I prefer the white decal paper. When using the transparent though, you do have to use a very, very light background in order for your images to show up. So now we're putting down that iconic Grinch face. Another reason why I love working with decals is because I do more of my own designs. When it comes to press on nails, I don't do a lot of custom work. So in order to be able to recreate the exact same set over and over again, in order not to disappoint my customers, I just prefer to use decals. Does it mean I'm unable to hand print the Grinch? No, it does not mean that. It just means I prefer not to. Why would I spend hours hand painting the Grinch when I can place an image down in seconds and get paid the same amount, right? Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. So now we're working on the other accent nail that has decals on it. And I do want to say I've prepped all these nails the same way I did the thumbs. So this white nail has 3 coats of the white polish, and then it has the base coat. And now I'm placing down the decals. So just to put that out there, they all have the same steps. So now I'm using a silicone tool. It's like a little wedge at the end to just help move this decal around. I placed it down a little bit too low on the nail and I wanted to push it up a bit. So I'm just using the silicone tool to do that, and at the same time to press out any bubbles, because you can see bubbles through the decals and it really doesn't look good, if you ask me. And that's why I prefer the white decal paper for full nail wraps, because you cannot really see the bubbles if any are left. So now we're putting down the Christmas bulb that he is throwing up in the air, and I put it on a little bit of an angle to, I guess, add a little bit of movement and motion to it. I don't know. And now we're working on the other hand, which is the full Grinch image. So like I said, all the steps are the same. We're just placing him down, and then I'm going to smooth him out. This time, I guess I decided to use my finger. Look at me giving you options. So yeah, press it down, and then I came back out with my silicone tool and I'm pushing out all those bubbles. Yeah, and then once we're done pressing down the entire image, we are going to seal the decals in again with our base coat. And in case you are new, I seal the decals in with base coat instead of just top coating right away, because it adds a dispersion layer back onto the nail so that your top coat doesn't peel off, essentially. Gel sticks to dispersion layers or a roughed up surface. We don't want to buff the decals, obviously, so we're putting a base coat over top to add a dispersion layer back, in order to be able to seal it with our top coat. So now this is the final nail. And again, guys, I cure after every time I place polish. Okay, I don't show it, but obviously I cure each layer. And then now we're going to come in with our Ugly Duckling top coat and finish off these decal nails. Now, if these were full nail wraps, you all know that I would buff the nail after this layer of top coat and then top coat again. However, I find with these smaller images, they just place down so smooth that you don't need to do that extra buffing of the nail to smooth it out with these smaller decals, which is amazing. Anything to save us time makes us money, right? Okay, so those are the decal nails. And now let's finally move on to the green nails that have the snow. So for the snow, we're using our Madame Glam's gel paint in white, and I am using their long fine liner brush to paint on the white polish. Now this gel paint cures without a dispersion layer, so it cures to a glossy finish. However, if you're not doing the steps that we're doing, like if you just want to paint it on, it cures to a glossy finish. However, we're going to do an additional step of pouring on clear acrylic powder before we cure in order to give it a textured feel. So right now I'm just first painting along the cuticle of the nail, and I do all the nails at the same time in order to save time. I didn't do that with the decal nails, which I probably should have. Oh well. Anyways, so we're doing it this way with the green nails. I'm painting them all at the same time. So first we're coming along the base of the nail, and then we're going to bring the polish down and make kind of a dripping snow effect. I like these types of designs because you don't have to be so neat with them, because I mean, snow falls randomly, right? So the more random you make it look, the more natural it looks. So those are the types of designs that I personally like to stick with. So here I'm bringing the polish down in kind of a wavy pattern, and then rounding it off a little bit at the top, kind of like a drip nail, but not as rounded, because snow icicles form in a different way than water drips, if you know what I mean. So it can be a little bit more sharp at the top. It doesn't have to be so rounded off, if you know what I'm trying to say. So I only showed me painting the one nail here to save some time. And this is all wet gel here. I have not cured anything. And now I am pouring clear acrylic over top of the gel polish and letting it kind of sink into it to create that textured feel. And definitely don't be shy with the acrylic powder. Like, pour that on there, especially when you're using gel paint, because gel paint is a little bit thicker. So in order for the acrylic to kind of settle down into the gel, yeah, use a lot of it, okay? Get it on there. This is actually a pour acrylic that I'm using, or a dip acrylic, I should say. Dip systems are acrylic, so I mean, if you can't technically find acrylic powder and you can only find dip powder, it is the same thing. And just make sure you get clear, because if you have clear, you can use it with all colors. Whereas a colored acrylic, you could only really use it with that same color as the base, unless you're doing some sort of contrasting look. So after I have got all the acrylic on there, I tapped it all off, cured. Now I'm brushing off the excess. This is after I've cured it, okay? Don't brush the wet gel, or else, gosh, you're going to just mess up everything you just painted. So there we go. The nail set is finished. I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Happy holidays. There's more to come.